Body count? Are you on steroids? If not, have you ever considered it? This is a little bit of a spicy question again. What do you think about Elon Musk?
Is my bicep showing like this?
Well, it's only cutting off. It's cutting off to here.
Oh no.
It's not cutting.
Hi everyone and welcome to my Q&A video. So a lot of you have responded to my Q&A Instagram survey over the last couple of months. I did a few of them, and now I'm going to answer live questions here with my co-host Erin. Say hi.
Hello.
Excellent. And on that note, we can start. And I have this organized in a few different sections. So no, you may not care about everything. Some may care about academia, about gym, about personal stuff, finance, life advice. So at the bottom of the YouTube video, you can hover around and you can skip around between the different sections and just make sure to watch what you like and skip all over the stuff that you don't want to see. On that note, let's get started.
Okay. First question. Do you believe money can buy happiness?
Oh my God, this is so hot.
It just came out of the kettle. I could have told you that.
Oops. You know what? I'm going to say yes. So, not like actually buy it. Obviously, you can be miserable and rich. But I think for most people, if they had more money, they would be happier. It's not going to solve all the issues. If you're personally unhappy, if you're terribly sick or something like that, it's not going to happen. But I think it's just an enabler, and being poor really just sucks. So even though it may not literally buy happiness, having more, up to a certain degree, obviously, usually does correlate with a little bit more happiness on average.
Okay, yeah. If you're really sick and you have a lot of money, you can at least try to get better.
Yeah, but it still
easier.
sucks being sick. You're not going to be happy.
And any tips on finding the right people, as in like in business, friends, etc.?
I love that question. I think we're all tempted to kind of look in the wrong stuff in our friends. So not just personal friendships, but also business. I mean, I know these are very different.
Yeah.
It's like natural to just want to surround yourself with, who you click with the best and like who's funny or something like that. But the truth is, you really become, and I really believe this, the average of the 5 people that you spend most time with.
Yeah.
And if the average 5 people that you spend the most time with, which often is your best friends, are maybe fun but lazy and unambitious, then you're going to become lazy and unambitious. It's just sad reality. And I know it matters. You have to find people who are actually loyal and you're like really good friends, and not just, being there to, use them or to use you for some advantages. But I think you can really look for both. You can find people who are good friends, but actually ambitious, ideally more ambitious and more hardworking than you, who then make sure that as you become the average, that average is actually better than you currently are.
So you want all people around you to just level up with you?
Yeah, it's not like an absolute must. Like obviously somebody might be a really good friend no matter what. But if you spend time with people, you should really use this as one of the factors, besides, being loyal friends, being good people, that they're actually ambitious and hardworking and challenge you to really become a better person.
I agree with that. More of a fun question. What's your ideal vacation?
I love sailing in Croatia. You remember we went sailing. For those who don't know, we actually went sailing this last summer.
Yeah, it was really
so
fun.
beautiful. We rented like a catamaran. We just went to like some remote islands. It was just so nice.
Would you sail again in Croatia
Oh,
or
yeah.
where else?
Yes and yes. I love sailing in Croatia. I've never actually sailed like on a big sailing boat myself before. I sailed like the sport sailing boats in different places, but like an actual vacation with a boat where you sleep inside and have like a kitchen and everything, like a full-on like hotel basically on the water.
I got seasick.
She did get a bit seasick, yeah.
It's really pretty though.
It was very pretty. Do you want to tell people why you got seasick?
Because I kept scrolling on my phone.
Exactly. It wasn't the waves.
Anyways,
moving on.
Moving on. What's your favorite quality in people?
Loyalty followed by ambition.
Okay, so that's kind of the same as how you find the right people. Yeah. I think loyalty and ambition sometimes can be contradicting traits.
Sometimes. So you
Depending
gotta
on
find
which-
people who have both.
Yeah. Ambition in the right way.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting personal. Do you ever plan to get married and have kids one day?
Oh, that's an interesting start. Probably.
Probably. Okay. What's your type, dating-wise? Just for the record, these are actual questions.
Actual questions
that he got. I did not just write these up. These are actual submissions.
Well, I think my type is sitting just right here.
Very coy. Okay.
What does coy mean? I don't know complicated words.
It's okay. You can find out later.
Is it cringe?
No, it's not. It's like flirty.
Oh, okay.
Samuel learns English, guys.
Yes, she's my English teacher.
7. Do you have a girlfriend or boyfriend? Question mark.
Well, we kind of answered that one already.
Maybe.
Here's my girlfriend.
Thank you.
You identify as a woman, right?
Yes.
Just checking. I mean, it's 2024. You never know, right?
I think there would be very difficult conversations.
I'm actually a dude.
Yeah, live on camera. Number 8. Okay, where would you want to live in 10 years? Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, I don't know.
Sorry.
Spoke about that yesterday. I mean, it's gotta be English speaking. Mm-hmm. It's gotta be nice and warm. Mm-hmm. Basically Boston, but tropical. Okay, I think, honestly, Miami is really great. So I'm not talking about Miami Beach where all the drunk party people go. I'm talking about like the business district that's currently being built. So it looks a bit like Manhattan, like New York, but way nicer. And I think 10 years from now, it's going to be probably one of the best places to live on Earth.
Well, yeah, during COVID, a lot of like VCs and tech founders went to Miami. Yeah. So now there's a new culture there.
I also like San Diego. I mean, big cities like New York and London are also nice. Obviously, the cold is not great. I mean, you can see it snowing here behind us if you can still see that. But yeah, why not?
What's your favorite song?
Wait. I different answer.
What?
In an ideal world, if I have a lot of money,
yeah,
I rotate between 3 different places.
Okay, so Miami.
I'd like to have something in New York.
Okay.
And I mean, something got to be in Europe. Okay. Maybe Croatia.
For sailing.
Maybe something on the coast in Croatia, actually.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah. There we go.
I see. You have a lot of money to earn in 10 years.
Shit, I need to make a lot of money for that.
What's your favorite song?
I love Elton John.
Favorite song of his?
I loved Candle in the Wind.
Candle in the Wind.
It's so beautiful.
We'll include a clip there for people who somehow don't know Elton John.
I think everybody knows that.
I don't know. Maybe Gen Alpha doesn't.
They only know about Taylor Swift.
That's true. Can we have a baby picture?
A baby picture?
Yeah.
Sure. We can blend it in right here. Yeah. That was me when I was like, I don't actually know, 3 years old? 4 or 5? I don't know.
How do you afford all the first class flights?
Oh, that's a good question. All with miles.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever paid neither for business nor first class, maybe not even premium economy tickets, just with cash. It was always like some trick with miles. I mean, I earned probably like 1 million or more miles over the last few years, so that kind of helps.
I wish I could have that many miles.
You have miles?
Yeah.
She also flew in first class to South Africa.
Well,
yeah, we have some pictures here.
Yeah, I also use my miles to pay for premium economy.
True, to India.
Here's some more. What's your connection to Croatia, and are you fluent in Croatian?
I am fluent in Croatia. Ja sam rođen u Njemačkoj, ali sam se preselio u Hrvatsku sa 5 godina. So I was born in Germany, but I moved to Croatia when I was 5 years old. So I'm fluent in Croatian.
I guess as a follow-up, do you identify as Croatian German or German Croatian?
Is there somehow a difference there?
I guess like what your primary identity is.
European.
Again, this came as a submission. This next question.
Uh-oh.
Will you go on a date with me? Parentheses, from a guy.
Who's asking that? Do we have the names of?
I don't have it. It's just from a guy.
You guys are lucky we're not putting the names of who asked the questions in there.
What's the answer to that?
I mean, I'm not gay, so I don't know.
Favorite books?
I love Richard Branson's biography called, it has actually a funny name. So he's the founder of the Virgin Group with Virgin Galactic, Virgin Atlantic, the cruise ships, Virgin Airline, the one we flew to India.
Yeah.
It's called Losing My Virginity. It's very funny. It's a great biography. Love that one. In terms of other books, gosh, I've read a lot of books. A lot of them, I mean, they're all kind of have their own unique qualities, but I think that's the one that I really distinctly remember.
Okay. 16th question. Body count?
Next question.
Next question.
Wait, should I answer that?
It's up to you, but the next question is also...
It's let's just say it's a 2-digit number. We're not going to say it could be 10, it could be 99.
All right, next question. Next question. Ass or tits?
Are these real?
These
Did you
are
just
real
make that
questions.
Up?
No, these are
Does it
real
actually say
questions.
that here?
Can we include the screenshot? It says ass or tits.
It actually does say that.
Yeah. We'll include the screenshot. We can blur out the name.
Wait, there's a right answer to this one.
Is there? I don't know.
Personality.
Okay. Okay, going a little bit easier on you. Why do you like Ralph Lauren? I see you're wearing it right now.
They're not sponsoring me, so don't buy their stuff. No, jokes aside, I mean, there's no really particular reason. They're fine clothing brand. They're like good, but not the best. I mean, it's just like, it's a t-shirt. Like, it's not a spaceship. You know, and the reason why I like them is because I can just go there and whatever I want to have, let's say this shirt, I have it in like 5 different colors. So I don't have to like think too much. It's just like I find something I like and I buy it in all the colors. I think I have 8 different blue polo shirts.
Oh my gosh.
Different shades of blue. And that's just the color blue. I have like so many more colors. It's just so easy. You walk in there and you just have everything. I mean, I could do the same with another brand, but it's just convenient with Ralph Lauren. And the quality is decent. But again, not promoting them.
Your 100 pair of pants.
Oh gosh, that's a different story if you may follow my Instagram.
Well, okay. Another question, also from a guy.
Uh-oh.
Can I call you daddy?
That must be made up.
No, it's right there.
Actually, okay, if it's really gonna put a screenshot in here.
Okay, now more like...
Please don't. I mean, if it's like a joke, it can be funny, but if like a grown man would walk up to me and say, "Hi, daddy," that would be very, very fucked up.
I really want to see that happen live. I now want to see it happen to you like in the gym or something.
Oh my God.
I think everyone should do that next time you see him. Why do you have so many credit cards?
To collect miles. You know, okay, there's a few different companies, 3 to be precise. I have many different bank accounts in different countries just because I lived there. And you get automatically like, okay, some of them are debit cards, you just automatically get.
When you open an account.
Exactly, and they were all served a purpose at some time. Except some of them that I just got without asking for them, like a debit card that you just get with your bank account.
Okay. How many are you up to now?
I don't think is it 40? Including debit cards, it might be 40.
Okay. Next question. Would you ever move back to Germany?
I don't necessarily think so. I mean, if something bad were to happen to me, I don't think so. I like Germany. It's a nice country. It's really nice. But I just somehow feel like there's sometimes a little bit of this lack of ambition or like negativity that's pulling you down. I mean, again, it's a great country. Like objectively, it's a great country. I just think that the current phase of my life, the US offers a lot more possibilities.
That's fair. What's your dream car?
A dream car? Oh, you know what? There's this episode on Top Gear. We're going to blend in some picture.
We've been watching a lot of Top Gear.
We like Top Gear. Where Jeremy Clarkson got this Dictator Mobile, how's it called? It's a Mercedes 300 Grosser or 600, something like that. And essentially the car is interesting because, I mean, it's massive, but the interesting part about it is basically every single major dictator on this planet had that specific car. Like Josip Broz Tito of Yugoslavia, I think Brezhnev, what's the North Korean dude's name? Kim Jong-il, I think at that point it was, or soon maybe even the one before. Is like the guy from the Iranian dictator. What was his name?
Gaddafi?
No, Gaddafi had it too, I think. I think he had like...
Just name any dictator and they'll
probably had it, yeah.
Okay. All right, I see how it is.
No,
You're just
I like
to drive in the streets of Cambridge with that.
No, I actually prefer the Mercedes, the Gullwing one. I'm going to show you a picture soon of which one it is.
That one's nice.
It's my actual favorite.
If you could choose to be able to speak any language, what would it be?
Python.
Can you speak Python?
I mean, not speak, but like, if honestly nowadays there's so much emphasis in schools on learning languages, and if that language is English, then yeah, you need to speak perfect English. There's no way around. But I think for probably 95% of kids in school, at least, becoming good at coding is so much more useful than learning some other language, unless that specific language is spoken in their country. That's just my personal thoughts. I speak 3 languages fluently, and I really don't need anything but English. It's just not very useful.
That's fair. It also helps make your brain think differently.
Yeah.
Like coding languages.
Well, it's going to get a lot of hate comments there.
Oopsies. Do you invest? If so, in what?
I don't really invest in like the traditional sense of, buy, I don't know, crypto. Okay, the cryptocurrency is not an investment, by the way. Don't buy crypto.
Like stocks.
If I wanted to buy like stocks or something, I would just buy an index fund like the S&P 500.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I do like some other like business stuff, like investing in my own startup, business ideas. But if I like got more money, I would definitely invest in real estate. I think it has always been and is and probably will always be the key to becoming wealthy most frequently.
But the amount of wealth you need to start investing in that is the main
hurdle.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not rich, you're not gonna get richer.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to think about my finances right now. Favorite places you've traveled to?
I loved Singapore, Vietnam. Europe has so much to offer, really. It's really hard to say, like, what is, like, I like more or less. I mean, London is great, Paris is great, all these different places. Yeah. In the US, I liked, like, the national parks a lot. Like, the Grand Canyon was, like, very special to me. The islands in Croatia are just out of this world. The US Virgin Islands, the British Virgin Islands are great.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think is your best YouTube video?
Well, my day in a life video is probably one of the most popular ones. After the math video may have overtaken it. I'm not really sure.
People want to learn math.
If you should watch any of my videos, I would probably recommend the problem-solving strategies with Richard Feynman. I think that's a good one, or like a very honest one is like I quit my MIT PhD. It's a recent video. I think I talk about a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, that's a good one. When do you respond to YouTube comments?
When?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay, to be honest, if I ever responded to any of your YouTube comments, there's like a 95% chance I was sitting on my toilet and just answering. Sorry.
Just like the rest of us. Okay.
It's the best place to do it.
All right, so this next topic is more so about your gym.
Ooh, I like that.
Habits, your routine.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. When did you begin to work out?
I was quite athletic already as a teenager doing triathlon, but I still work out in the sense of gym. So I started going to the gym a little bit occasionally when I moved to Switzerland, I think. That was not really anything special. I was like 21 at that, a bit older, like 22, 23. You didn't have like a gym in high school or anything like that, as you might have in the US, sadly. But like actually really working out hard was just at the end of the pandemic, I think May 2021, and around the time when MIT opened their gym, and that was the only place where I could have friends, and it was very sad, and that's how I started working out. So it's been 2.5, 3 years now of working out. Yeah, but I was already quite fit before that, but not like jacked. Okay, sorry, I keep interrupting you. I added, I think I weighed 66 kilograms when I moved to the US to do my PhD.
You have to use freedom units. I only think in pounds.
We'll convert that on the screen. 66, and weigh close to 190 now. Sorry. Now
You
I'm
just
mixing up.
switched kg to
Sorry.
pounds.
190 pounds, which is, how much is that? Probably like 85 kilograms, something like that.
Damn.
86, 87, something like that. That's like my rough weight at the moment. So I gained around 20 pounds, yeah. 20 kilograms.
See, now I have him all confused. Well, that leads to the next.
In the regular units.
That leads to the next question, which is how many calories do you eat on a training day?
I always eat the same whether or not I train. Usually around 4. I target 4,000, but I know I kind of fall short of that target, so more like 3,500 to 3,800 a day.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a lot of choking down
It's
food.
disgusting. It's bloody disgusting. I hate eating.
What's your bench PR though?
Oh, that's a good question. I haven't tried a PR recently. The last time I tried was like a year ago. I did 3 plates, which is 315 pounds or 143 kilograms. I could probably do more now. I don't know how much more.
Okay. Well, maybe you can try a PR in one of your next videos.
I should try it.
Comment
but here's how I did it.
Do you use an app to track your gym progress?
I should, but I don't.
Okay, why not?
I just never really bothered to set it up. And you need to customize some things. And I think I have a good routine, but honestly, I'm just being a bit lazy. I should have an app to track.
Yeah. I mean, when you have downtime in the gym, you can just put in stuff. But...
Yeah. I don't like walking around with my phone all the time in the gym. It's just distracting. I just rather put it in the bag and work out.
That's fair. But when you're in the gym, what's your workout split?
My primary answer is it doesn't matter. Too much, at least. I think people over-focus on what supplements do you take, what different kinds of protein powders do you take, and what exactly is your workout split. I think what you should focus on is, number one, you eat well, healthy, high in protein, regular, enough food, like a lot of food. This is the most important part. Second most important part is just really target all the muscles and push yourself hard until failure. Now, in my case, I can answer the question. I have like one really extremely heavy leg day. Yeah, you know that one by Tom Platz. Then I have a day where I do arms and usually cardio. Then I have a day for chest and shoulders and one for back and abs. But you could do it differently and it would totally be fine.
You just admitted to the world that you do cardio.
I do cardio now, yeah.
So shameful. What's your favorite bodybuilding pose?
You know, how's it called? The Arnold. I have a picture of it probably, but it's like essentially you. Okay, this is kind of weird how I'm doing. You put your biceps like this and like. I can't really do it sitting,
no,
but
you can't. We'll insert a picture.
I'll have a picture there. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, this feels like a spicy question. What do you think about CrossFit?
CrossFit is very okay. No, just kidding. I hate it.
I was like, wow, this is sanitized.
No, I mean honestly, okay, better do something than nothing.
Yeah.
But CrossFit is just you take all the good stuff in the gym as a whole, and you take out all the good stuff essentially and replace it with danger and doing everything in bad form. Just really don't like it.
Every time I see a CrossFit pull-up, I think someone's gonna throw out like an elbow or.
Have you seen how that looks like?
Yeah.
Just jump around like morons.
You're gonna hurt your shoulder. Like it's just oof.
It's ridiculous.
Ooh, this is another question. Oh, what's your stance on the health at every size movement?
I'm gonna get canceled if I answer this question.
Okay, we can skip that.
No. I mean,
I'm gonna blur out my face.
No, it's just bullshit. I'm
here.
sorry. It's just bullshit. Sorry, I said it. You can hate me for it. It's like being overweight, morbidly obese is just not healthy. I don't care what you tell me. It's just not healthy. Like these people downplaying, like, oh, it's fine to be round or however they call it. Like,
Round?
I don't know what people call it. I'm using bad words here. It's just not good. It's just very unhealthy. You should be fit. You should work out. You should take care of your health.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of health risks that come much later on.
Yeah.
Did you ever do an Ironman?
I did not. It's very tough. That's like a whole marathon followed by like 200-ish kilometers of biking and a few kilometers of swimming. It's brutal. I've never done it. Yeah.
How does it compare to a triathlon, though? I don't really know.
It is triathlon. It's like the most intense
triathlon.
regular discipline in triathlon.
Okay. Ooh. What are your biceps?
Do we have official measurements somewhere?
I don't know.
It's like, I have the number somewhere. Should I pull it up?
Number somewhere.
It's on this laptop actually. Let me grab
where
it.
it is. You can
just
be careful with
Ooh, I don't want to unplug you. The official measurements in the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen, be prepared. Arms, 16.5 inches.
Okay.
How much is that in normal units? Okay, we're not going to convert that. Chest, 45.5. Okay.
And they only asked about your bicep, not your chest.
But my chest is really good, so I want to slide that in.
Okay. Okay. Do you drink alcohol or take any drugs?
No and no. I mean, alcohol extremely rarely, like a few times per year.
Yeah.
It's just so unhealthy. Like, honestly, I would rather take some, I don't know, LSD or something like that sometimes than like get drunk regularly or have like a glass of alcohol per day. You know, the biggest myth on this planet that still somehow persists is that a glass of wine per day is healthy. It's not. Any amount of alcohol, no matter how much, how little, is unhealthy proportionally to how much you take it.
Okay. This is the last question in the section. So for like gym and fitness, can we get a titty picture? Again.
Why is that?
This was fully submitted. A titty picture.
Here you go. Knock yourself out.
Okay, now on to more serious topics. This one's more about like startups.
Ooh.
So now we're gonna get serious. What qualities should a business have to become successful?
Well, it should make money.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the single necessary and sufficient conditions for a business to be successful is if it has paying customers.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, how do you find a good startup idea?
You make and break ideas. Honestly, if you wait for the right idea to come around, A, it's not going to happen, and B, even if it happens, that great idea that you have is probably a bad idea. You just haven't figured out why it's a bad idea. So you better just find some good enough idea, try it, pivot more, and eventually you're going to figure out something.
Okay. So try first, fail fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. Okay. How hard was it bootstrapping your startup?
It sucked.
What are you learning from VC world right now?
Honestly, being able to pay yourself a salary is so much better because the thing is the founder, you're sacrificing potentially two things. First of all, your time.
Yeah.
That's inevitable.
Yeah.
And secondly, if you bootstrap your money. I think it's just you're sacrificing way too much if you completely bootstrap, unless you have some strong reason for it. I bootstrapped my first company. It was extremely painful. There were times when I thought I wouldn't have money to buy groceries and feed myself and pay my rent. Mm-hmm. It was just unnecessary. Like, it's so much better now. And I think I actually have time to fully focus on running the business without having to worry about a million other things.
Yeah, there's just like good things about having a decent runway.
Yeah, exactly.
What's like startups like in the US versus Europe?
Better in the US. There's just more money, it's faster, it's more accepted. People are not going to judge you if you fail. People are going to be excited if you do it. They're not going to ask all these but questions. But what if this happens? What if that happens? And all of that nonsense. It's just in every aspect better in the US.
Okay. So how's your startup, Marveri, doing?
It is doing very well. So
Okay.
we had raised a round, which we're still kind of keeping semi-secret, but now I've said it. And we have good runway. We have a number of employees. You can follow us on Instagram. You should. It's a Marveri legal. And yeah, super exciting. Honestly, I've never been happier in my life. Like, this is so great. I love every single day of working on this.
Well, I think that leads really nicely into the next question is like, how much do you work on your startup and like, what does your workday look like?
I wake up, I go to the office.
When do you usually wake up, time frame wise?
Currently like 8 a.m. and then I'm in the office by 9:30.
Okay.
Then I stay in the office until about 9 p.m. And then I go to the gym on the days where I go to the gym, or if I don't go to the gym, then I stay in the office until like 10:30 p.m. That's pretty much all I do. And usually at least one weekend day I do the same, if not two.
Damn, that's a lot of work.
Oh, it's fun. I like it. I'm not stressed. I was like, I'm having a good time.
Work-life balance is not in your vocabulary. This is a good question. I like this. Given your experience in business, can you give some advice to people who are starting out?
Try it. Just go out and try it. Like, you're not going to learn anything. I mean, you can learn a lot in an MBA or business degree, but really the best way to learn it is to try and fail, and then maybe one day it works out.
Okay. Do you think business major, like founders, provide value to a startup in comparison to tech founders?
100%, yeah. So obviously you have to be really tech savvy, and ideally you're either a tech person that's very business savvy or vice versa. But if I really had to bet my money on just one group of people, choosing between, let's say, MIT MBAs and MIT engineers, I would bet on the MBAs actually. Like they may not understand a lot of stuff, and they may come up with a lot of dumb startup ideas just because they don't understand the tech. But they're gonna make sure that you get your money back and get a return on that.
Okay, very interesting. Very interesting different skill sets.
I mean, ideally we have both, but if I had to choose one of them.
You had to choose. What is your next career goal?
I really want to build out the startup. Like, I don't have career goals beyond that. I want to build this out, make it huge, make it a great company, and I just love doing that.
So, like, how large do you want to scale it? Where could you see it to?
I mean, in an ideal world, we're going to get huge, IPO, ring the bell on New York Stock Exchange, hire a lot of people, really change the legal industry forever, change the way law is practiced, eventually maybe even have some kind of NGO or something like that allows this technology to be used for also private people to like make legal representation more accessible. I think that's really the dream.
Nice. Oh, last question in this section about like work and your startup. Do you believe in work-life balance, or is total immersion necessary for success?
You should probably you have to make it once in life. That's just how I think about it.
Yeah.
And unless you're born rich or like extremely privileged, which probably most people aren't, you have to prove yourself once. And I think it's worth spending, if necessary, maybe a few years of your young life really working hard to make it to some place. And from that place, you can relax a little bit more. Like, you still have to work hard, but it's a race to some degree. Yeah. And sometimes it's worth sacrificing some kind of happiness for a limited amount of time, not a long time, limited time to succeed.
I think it's a race with yourself.
I think it's a race with others as well.
Okay. You and I have
my
very
personal
different...
opinion.
Okay.
Everybody's a competitor. Yeah.
The athlete in you is coming out. I'm like, I didn't do organized sports. Right. Now this next section, what are you doing with your eyebrows?
Okay.
Can we just zoom in to his eyebrows right now? All right, that aside, this is the weirdest person I've talked to today.
I'm the only person you talk to today.
Well, then that makes you very weird. All right, let's talk a little bit about your past life.
Let's talk about me.
We've been talking about you.
I love having YouTube because it's totally fine to just talk about myself because the channel is literally called Samuel Bosch. It's me. No, jokes aside, go ahead. What would you like to know about me?
With so much. You guys have no idea. Let's talk about in your past life, your MIT and Harvard experience. So, I guess this question was like in present tense, but like, how did it feel to be at MIT?
Great. It was my dream to go there, to go MIT, to Harvard, and obviously in day-to-day life it doesn't really matter that much, but I'm really just happy that I got here, and it really opened so many doors for me.
You also meet a lot of cool people.
Oh yeah, that's the most important part, the people.
Yeah. Well, in the office, your cubicle just seemed like a normal cubicle.
Yeah, everyone, is it an English or a German expression? Everyone cooks with water?
I don't know.
No, it's a German expression. They call it auch noch mit Wasser. It essentially means everyone is just boiling with water. It just means everyone has the kind of the same stuff to do, but it's not the same people who do it.
Yeah. I guess this is a question for people who are interested in research at MIT. Is there financial support for researchers at MIT?
Yeah. As a PhD, you get a salary.
Okay. All right. This is an interesting one.
Uh-oh.
Do you believe that the prestige of schools like MIT and Harvard perpetuate educational inequality?
They do, for sure, especially Harvard, because they admit very much on a legacy basis.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, not only first come first serve, but it's like if your parents went to Harvard, you have so much higher chances of getting into Harvard. So that definitely perpetuates inequality. MIT is a bit better. So MIT is very. I mean, they obviously all need blind, even though, when they say they're need blind, they're not have blind in some way.
Yeah.
But MIT is much better in that aspect, I think. And I think we do need elite universities. I hate when, for example, Austria is extreme in that sense, but also Germany to some case. They're actively almost fighting against elite universities to kind of make everything more equal. But you need elite universities. I mean, look at Harvard, Stanford, and MIT, how many startups they've produced. If just MIT startups would be a country, it would be one of the biggest economies in the world. Yeah. And you don't have that happen from University of Vienna or any other place in most places in Europe, and we just need that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they can be a lot less expensive, but that's a whole other issue.
And that's the thing.
About.
MIT and Harvard are not really expensive unless you have a lot.
Right,
I know,
right.
A friend of mine, he grew up in the poorest region in Vietnam and got admitted to MIT. His parents have zero money, but MIT paid him to study there.
I forgot about that. So I went to Tufts.
Most other universities are, if you don't have the money, you have bad luck.
We paid a lot. Okay, favorite course you've ever taken?
Negotiations at Harvard Business School. So this professor, he personally invited Hillary Clinton and Henry Kissinger, back when he was still alive then, for the class, ask them questions about the negotiation strategies. I know there's especially Kissinger is a very controversial figure, but he was talking about his debate and negotiation skills, how he managed to negotiate very difficult deals, and I think it was very, very insightful, and it was just one of the best class I've ever taken in my life.
On a global, very high stakes basis.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious for this as someone who really only had the U.S. student experience. So, does the U.S. student experience differ very much from the European experience?
I think so. I think it's much cooler. It's I kind of wish I could go back in time and go through the cool undergrad experience here. You have you all live together in dorms.
I don't know. You might be romanticizing dorms a little
maybe
too
I am
much.
a little bit, but the thing is, in most European places, you get admitted to university, you're nothing and nobody. Your job is to, get the exams. They're probably going to kick you out because you're not going to make it anyways. Nobody looks after you. You're just on your own. There's no community or anything like that across different disciplines. And here, I think it's you're part of this. I mean, it may be tough. Even the frats and all fraternities and all that stuff. I know they have a bad reputation, but I think it just adds so much to the undergrad experience.
I think the U.S. undergrad experience is very unique.
Yeah.
From global comparison for sure.
Yeah.
Did you ever take the SATs? If yes, what score did you get?
I took the SAT subject tests.
Okay, so not the standardized big test?
I'm not really sure what the differences are. I took physics and math. I got 100% or 800 in each of them.
Yeah. The SATs, they have a generalized thing, and it
really?
used to be out of 2,400. I don't know what it's out of now. Maybe that just aged me.
Well, 800 is the maximum you can
Yeah, for the subject. Yeah. Okay. This kind of alludes to what you were talking about. How much does legacy or donor status really affect admissions at places like Harvard or MIT?
Well, at MIT, donor status, yes. Legacy, no. The thing is, and I think in some way it's even fair. If your dad donates $100 million to MIT or to Harvard, it would be stupid for them not to admit you. Because for that kind of money, you can have so many other students who actually don't have the money to study there get scholarships.
Yeah.
And I think in Europe, probably the mindset would be, we don't care about $100 million. He's 1 point underneath the threshold to get in, so we're not going to admit this person. And I know it's unfair, but I think sometimes having some unfairness to create much more fairness in another place can be worth it. But it is what it is. So
yeah, it sucks. Okay, Well, this next section is also a little bit more about academia, but just more general, not like MIT and Harvard specific. So, first question, I know you'll have a spicy take for this one, is doing a PhD worth it?
No. Okay, no. It can be worth it in very specific cases. Number one, you really know that you want to be a scientist and a researcher and nothing else. In this
fair.
case, fine, go ahead and do a PhD if you're really certain. Another option is, okay, if you're from some poor country and you want to have the chance to move to the US and you get admitted to MIT and get a green card, and, in this case it may make also sense, but in most other scenarios, I think PhD is just useless. It's a piece of paper, and you even go backwards in terms of your knowledge and social skills and everything compared to what you could be doing in other places. Just my personal opinion, but yeah.
It also, I guess, depending on what your PhD is in, you can get a more extended visa, right?
Yeah, I mean that's true, but most PhDs are in such a narrow field that doesn't apply anywhere else, so it's really useless. If you do a PhD in AI, fine, you're gonna do fine. You know how to code and all that stuff, but unless you really do a lot of coding in your PhD, it's probably not very applicable.
Okay. What was the most difficult moment in your academic career?
Probably the moment, it wasn't really a moment, it was a period of time where I started realizing that I actually don't like research. And I was just doing it so enthusiastically because I saw it as a chance to, better life, to move to the US or Switzerland or do something. But I started realizing that was more my motivation than actually the research itself.
Going back in time a little bit, what was a typical day in high school like for you?
In high school, when I started doing the competitions, it was probably the time when my life I worked the hardest.
Okay.
I literally did nothing else but study and do triathlon. I would go to school, get home, eat lunch, and start doing physics problems until late in the night, except the days when I would do triathlon. But that was pretty much it. I had very little social life. It was just I started as my one chance and opportunity to kind of escape all of this and get out of it.
Oh my gosh. I was on Tumblr a lot in high school, so we led very different high school lives. Would you ever become a professor?
No, more like a brofessor.
Professor,
okay. Maybe if I make a lot of money, have some successful business, and then I'm like a part-time business school professor, like one of my investors. Yeah, maybe why not?
You'd be like a fun professor, a cool professor.
But part-time business school, not like physics, math professor.
So I don't know a lot about this next one, but what's your take on the publish or perish culture in academia?
I mean, essentially, 100 years ago, or even less than that, the most famous scientists would publish a few papers in their life, and they were groundbreaking. And nowadays, you just have to produce a lot, otherwise you're going to get kicked out, essentially. But
damn,
I think, and this is also a bit of a controversial opinion, I think it's almost net beneficial. It's a good thing to be publishing more papers. I can tell you, most people don't have the patience to wait for 15 years or 20 years or their entire life to publish that one significant paper that they may not ever publish. And just having this kind of, you publish something, even if it's not the best result, it just helps. It does create a bit more spam, and but also we have much better search engines. We don't have to literally read whole books full of papers. So I think the system nowadays is better to produce more good stuff, and obviously a bit more mediocre bad stuff, but there's a way to filter it.
Okay, interesting. Is it possible to carry out academic research and work at the same time?
I mean, it depends on where you are. At MIT with a PhD program, I mean, you can work part-time at Microsoft, or my co-founder did that, but it's a bit tricky.
It's both very heavy things to do at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you think a math or a computer science degree has more benefits?
Computer science. Because you can apply computer science. If you know how to code, you can do so many different things. Math is a little bit more abstract and depends on what kind of mathematics you do. You cannot just jump into a job and be useful immediately.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I would agree there, I think. This next question. Okay, I can't decide what to study. Any advice?
Well, if you can't decide between 3 different things that you very much like, then choose the most practical one that's going to get you a good job.
Fair.
But if you're just like, oh, I have to study something, but I can't really decide what I'm going to do, then you shouldn't study. Do something else, get some job, do something. Then, in a few years, once you figure it out, you should study. But you should not just go to university for the sake of having gone to university.
Okay. Where did you get your bachelor's degree?
I never got my bachelor's degree. I dropped Shocking. I dropped out of my undergrads because I really didn't like it in Croatia. And then I managed to persuade some places to admit me to a certain PhD program.
Wow.
And master's before that.
That seems like a whole story in and of itself.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is a question from someone who's having a major in computer science, but they're wondering what minor they should do. So the options they listed were physics, math, business.
Business.
You answered that before I even finished the question. Why?
It's just like computer science is very practical.
Yeah.
But if you really want to make it far up in some organization, unless you really don't really have good social skills, I think business just makes a lot of sense.
At the point of senior or lead, you need to know what the business is maximizing on.
Yeah.
As someone who's worked for a few years. Okay. I saw you holding a diploma last year in a picture. What was it for?
Oh, I was from MIT, so even though I dropped out of my PhD, as a kind of milestone within the PhD, I earned a master's degree.
Okay.
So I do have the ring, and I'm an MIT grad officially.
Very nice. Would you study physics again?
No.
You're so anti-physics.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with physics, and I understand why people recommend. It's not if I was the president of a country and wanted the economy to do well, I wouldn't recommend everyone to study computer science because
you need diversity.
You need diversity. You need electrical engineers. You need physicists. You need so many different things.
Yeah.
But from a selfish, individualistic perspective, I think if you're technically talented, being good at coding is probably the most practical one that's most likely to get you a job. And I know a lot of people who got PhDs in physics or mechanical engineering degrees, and they have been unemployed for a rather long time.
Yikes. Well, I think that's more to do with the market right now then.
Well, yeah, but some people are getting jobs, and these are MIT graduates who are struggling to get a job.
Yeah. Would you ever do a postdoc?
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm so far removed from academia. What even is a postdoc?
It's it's essentially between a PhD and becoming a professor.
Oh,
except it's like a horrible cycle in some way. You're basically like a senior PhD candidate.
Oh my god.
And you're stuck in this potentially infinite cycle of wanting to become a professor but probably never making it. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people who did postdoc after postdoc and then suddenly they're 35 and they have to give up because they just don't make it as professors. And then, they can do other things, but they kind of wasted a lot of their lifetime on it.
That's so sad. This is the last question in this section. It's spicy. Have you witnessed or experienced any unethical practices in academic research?
Surprisingly, no.
Okay.
I thought there would be more, but definitely nobody purposefully faked stuff to prove some point. Maybe I've seen people publish stuff that isn't really that relevant or kind of overstate the importance of the results a little bit, but nothing where they would actually purposefully go in and try to deliver a wrong message.
Like impact the data or anything.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. Well, now this next section is about your productivity or just opinions on productivity. So, can hard work compensate for average intelligence?
Yes. I think hard work, smart work always beats IQ. IQ is such a silly concept. I've not a single time here at Harvard and MIT where you would expect the people with the highest IQs, not a single time have I heard anyone talk about their IQ or ask anyone what their IQ is. Mm-hmm. Never in 3 years. Before that, everywhere else, they're constantly, what's their IQ? What is the IQ? So that kind of tells you something, right?
Yeah. Do you personally use any tools to structure your day and stay productive?
Just Google Calendar, maybe some reminders. I know there might be some fancy tools out there and they might make me slightly more productive, but like tools aren't going to make you productive on their own.
Yeah.
You just have to get your shit together, you know?
What keeps your daily motivation so high?
Well, ambition. I want to
Ambition?
start up to work out. I'm
Yeah.
very excited about this. I have like a clear goal in mind and enjoy what I'm doing, and that's really what keeps me motivated.
Okay.
I'm not very disciplined, so if I had to do something with no clear goal in mind or that I'm not passionate about, aka my PhD, wouldn't really work well.
I think kind of like that. Have you ever experienced burnout and how did you handle it?
I actually never have. I had a lot of stress, but I never burned out.
It's actually quite impressive. I feel like a lot of people burn out, even if
Yeah.
they're very passionate about something.
Even people who don't really, I don't know, some people just are prone to burnouts, even though
Yeah.
there isn't really anything happening in their life and they're constantly, oh my God, I'm so stressed. And like, it's just, some people just have a higher tolerance to it.
Yeah. What's your opinion as, startup founder? What's your opinion on the 4-day work week? Could it be effective in either academia or tech?
No. Get back to work.
What,
I
you
mean,
don't
it's just-
like long weekends?
I know it would be nice if we could make that happen
Yeah.
in an ideal world, but the problem is, like, as some countries, maybe even like Northern European countries, are kind of downscaling how much people work and really focusing work-life balance. I think it's on one hand a great thing, but on the other hand, you're gonna get overtaken by other countries that don't have that. So it's a bit tricky. Like, it's not nothing for me, but I wish it was possible. I'm just not sure how sustainable it is.
Yeah. How do you keep yourself organized with ADHD?
I just find a clear goal that I'm working towards, and then that keeps me organized and
This
focused.
just sounds no organization, just
You need to have a goal in
forward.
mind, like, and if you have a goal in mind and you're like ambitious, then everything else is gonna fall in place. You're gonna figure it out. Yeah.
on the same topic about ADHD, do you take any medication to manage it?
Used to when I was younger. Don't do it anymore just because I have weird side effects, like I can't really sleep and that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like that happens for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Do you have days when you don't feel like doing anything?
Not at the moment. I had them in the past. Well, you just gotta push through it and get shit done.
That's a good slogan. All right, I think these last few questions, we're coming to the end of it,
Oh.
are about science and technology.
Okay.
So it's like very general. These are all, they're very nerdy in my opinion. But do you think AI will eventually surpass human intelligence, and should we be worried?
It might. I'm not too worried about it happening anytime soon, but it might happen.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of big heavy hitters now trying to reach AGI.
Yeah.
So, okay. Why do you think we shouldn't be worried?
Well, I don't think it's gonna happen that soon or be that dangerous. Actually, it might happen soon, but I don't think it's gonna be that dangerous.
Okay.
That's at least my opinion or my hope.
What are your thoughts on ChatGPT?
It's awesome. I mean, I can code 3 to 4 times more and better per day. I'm not a good coder, but with ChatGPT and like my very theoretical coding experience but little practice, I can really do amazing work and actually work as a software engineer in my own startup.
Nice. You should show off your setup.
Oh yeah,
In
I
your
have a
new
very
office.
fancy setup in my office.
Very like software engineer.
Yeah.
Do you think that working on AI is the future?
It's the present and the future. Yeah, 100%.
What about those companies that aren't investing in AI?
That are not investing in AI?
Yeah, like
Is that
what
a
do you
question?
think? Well, no, I'm just asking. I'm just like, what do you think is going to happen to them?
I mean, if you don't jump on a train soon enough, it might just leave the station.
Okay, this is a little bit of a spicy question again. What do you think about Elon Musk?
He's a controversial figure. I think I kind of like him though. I know he's like, does a lot of bad shit and says a lot of dumb things, but I think he's net beneficial as a person. And I obviously admire him, but I do wish he
Was less
Would-
of a...
less of a douchebag sometimes.
There you go. Okay, I guess these are questions about quantum computing. Again, I personally think they're very nerdy, but What should I learn first to get into quantum computing?
Linear algebra, that's basically the most important part of it. And from there on, you can get into quantum computing.
Okay. What is your opinion on quantum and quantum computing?
Quantum technology is great. There's a lot of applications for it. And I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff happening on that side. But quantum computing, I'm a little bit more skeptical on the next few years. If it happens, would be great. But I think at the moment it's a bit overhyped and not that likely to actually work out in the scale that we're hoping to.
Why is it overhyped for people who don't? Like,
the algorithms aren't as good as we think. They're much harder to get, like in, what would be an exponential speed up and like something that can actually do all the crazy things that we're imagining. And on the other hand, the hardware is also not making as fast progress as we hope to.
Okay. Okay, this is the last question, and I have no context at all. So, is trapped ion quantum computing legit?
Wow, that's such a boring question as the last question.
You lasted.
Sorry, no, it's
really
a good technical
wanted.
question.
Yeah.
I was just hoping to finish it up with something crazy. I mean, it might work. It's like one of the many approaches, and maybe that ends up being the one. IonQ, the company is currently trading, or was trading a few years ago, at a few $1 billion on the New York Stock Exchange, building that.
Yeah.
So maybe it does work out.
Well, I can spin off one final question.
Yes.
So we can insert a clip or a picture of, what is it? Why do you have a douchebag jar in the apartment?
Because I'm a very good flatmate, and my flatmates are not nice to me.
Okay, well, maybe you have to do an interview of like your flatmates to see.
The truth about Samuel Bosch,
The
yeah.
truth
My
about
flatmate
Samuel
already said she
Bosch.
wants to do that.
Oh my gosh, I'll also chip in there. Well, that's all the questions that came in.
Great, and on that note, moving over to the sponsor of this video. After listening to me talk for 1 hour, you may have gotten the hint. Yes, I think coding is super important. And if you want to become better at coding, you might want to check out the sponsor of this video, Brilliant.org. If you don't know yet, Brilliant is a great platform to learn math, data science, and computer science interactively online on their platform. They have thousands of lessons from beginners all the way to advanced levels. For example, if you want to learn more about algorithms, you should check out their course called Introductions to Algorithms, covering everything you need to know to get started. So the course covers everything from pseudocode, conditional algorithms, search algorithms, sorting algorithms, and more advanced topics. Sorting algorithms are particularly interesting to me because this is something I love to play around with in high school. Essentially, it's the quickest way to sort a whole array of different numbers or different objects. Super important, and there's so many ways of doing it. Now, this is a very interactive way to actually figure out what is what. For example, here it says, if A is the correct example array, which swap would result in an array being sorted? So in here it's quite obvious that if you want to get these things into the right order to this, you obviously just have to swap the third and fourth one, so 3 and 4. Oh wait, I messed it up.
Did you fail your own?
I failed my own example. Okay, back to the problem. So it could take more than 1 or 2 because there's multiple ones that are different, right? There we go, that's correct. So the great thing about Brilliant is really that you learn everything interactively. You actually have to understand things and not just listen to someone talking about how things are done. If this course caught your eye, you can try out Brilliant free of charge for the first 30 days, and the first 200 people who sign up get 20% off the annual subscription. Go to brilliant.org/SamuelBosch. With that, I want to thank Brilliant for supporting me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can thank me by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and turning on the notification. With that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.